It's 11 trivia questions on November in history. All these things happen in the beautiful month of my birth. Let's see how many you remember. This is Trivia with Buds. What it be, and welcome to another episode of the Trivia with Buds podcast. Happy Saturday. Hopefully you are out having a great start to your weekend. As you are listening to this, I am probably cruising around DesignerCon 2019, which I got invited to as a member of the press. I don't know if you can say what I do is something of journalistic integrity, but I applied to be a press member, and they said, come on down. So the wife and I both got press passes, and we're walking around DesignerCon, checking out very cool stuff like VHS voltage lamps from my friend Casey O'Connor. Search Casey O'Connor and VHS voltage, and you will find some very cool lamps made out of old tapes. So that's just one of the millions of things we're seeing at DesignerCon today. We're probably doing some walk-around trivia with people too, so get ready for an episode next week with some fun stuff from DesignerCon 2019. And I think I was there in 2017, if you want to go back and listen to that episode and hear some great trivia from different artists around the gallery. Today's episode is all about November in history. Things from history and pop culture history will fill this episode. I used it at my live events just this past week. But before we get into that, I am on a website called Ducksters.com. I've never gone to it before. I don't really know what it is. I just searched November history and it came up. So I thought I'd read you some fun things. Okay, so here we go. Here are the holidays in November. We got Veterans Day. We've got World Diabetes Day. Did not know that was a holiday. Thanksgiving, American Indian Heritage Month, Good Nutrition Month. That's a little oxymoronic since we eat so much crap on Thanksgiving. Aviation Month, American Diabetes Awareness Month. They are all about the diabetes this month. National Stamp Collecting Month. Wow. Did you know that? Are you a stamp collector? I've never met anybody, old or young, who's like, yeah, I collect stamps. Like, I've never come across that. You hear about it in different parts of TV and movies and things, but I've never actually seen someone with a stamp collection or known anybody who's had one. If you listen to this show and you have a stamp collection, I want pictures of it pronto. I want to share them, and I want you to tell me what you get out of that. And the last thing it says is National Peanut Butter Lovers Month. I am not a huge peanut butter fan. I like peanut butter and jelly, and that's about as far as it goes. I've said it before. I don't like peanut butter desserts. I don't like peanut butter ice cream or peanut butter cakes. Something about it. Don't care for it. Symbols of November. The birthstone is topaz and citron. The flower is chrysanthemum, which is a hard word to say. I'm surprised I nailed it. And zodiac signs are Scorpio and Sagittarius. Here are a few more things before we jump into this episode. I just like reading stuff sometimes to you, the listener. Fun facts about November. It's the last month of the fall season. I think we knew that. November in the Northern Hemisphere is similar to May in the Southern Hemisphere. All right, great fact. Elections are held in the U.S., we know that. The third Thursday of November is the Great American Smokeout. Smokers are encouraged by the American Cancer Society to stop smoking on this day. Never heard of that. That's interesting. Some Christian churches celebrate All Saints' Day on the first day of November and All Souls' Day on the second. American football is the main sport watched in the U.S. during this month. Yes. And most, if not all, the leaves have fallen off the trees by the end of November. Okay, these are not really fun facts. These are just like things everybody knows. It's like, people watch football in November. Great fact. Great bullet point. Awesome website, Ducksters.com. Shout out to Ducksters, one of my sponsors here on the podcast. But going back to All Saints' Day, is that a day where everybody listens to the song The Beach from the Beach soundtrack? I think it's called The Beach. That's my only All Saints reference. I do like that soundtrack, and I am rambling. But hey, I think some of you get a kick out of that sometimes, or probably more than often people don't. But I did it, and we've recorded it, and now it exists in history, seconds of my life recorded just for you. Okay, guys, we have overstayed our welcome in this intro, and we are jumping into 11 fun facts about the history of November. Here we go. November in history. Question number 1. In November of 1883, 4 standard time zones were established for the continental USA under pressure from what industry, which needed uniform time schedules across the country? Question number 1. What industry wanted uniformed time schedules with the different time zones? Question 1. Question number 2. In November of 1936, the first issue of what photo magazine went on sale, featuring 50 pages of pictures? Question number 2. In November of 1936, the first issue of what photo magazine went on sale, featuring 50 pages of pictures? Question number 3. In November of 1963, the BBC aired the first episode of what TV show, the world's longest-running science fiction drama series? Question number 3. Question number 4. On November 1st, 1968, the MPAA released their set of film ratings for audiences. What did the R rating stand for? Question number 4. On November 1st, 1968, the MPAA released their set of film ratings for audiences. What did that R rating stand for? Question number 5. What monstrous film character was introduced to the world on November 3rd, 1954? What monstrous film character are we talking about from November 3rd, 1954? Question number 6. On November 11th, 1987, whose famous painting Irises sold for $53.9 million at Sotheby's in New York? Who painted Irises and sold it for $54 million well after their death? Number 6. Question number 7. What fast food burger chain opened its first location in Columbus, Ohio on November 15th, 1959? What fast food burger chain opened its first location in Columbus, Ohio on November 15th, 1959? Question number 8. On November 19th, 1863, Lincoln delivered his famous Gettysburg Address. What is the first word to that speech? What is the first word in the Gettysburg Address? Number 8. Question number 9. What famous TV network made its debut on November 23rd, 1993? Question number 9. What famous TV network made its debut on November 23rd, 1993? Question number 10. When it debuted in 2012, what music video became the most viewed YouTube video ever at the time, surpassing 808 million views? Number 10. When it debuted in 2012, what music video became the most viewed with 808 million views? And your bonus question for 2 points. If you're playing along at home, Beavis and Butthead ended its first run in November of 1997. At that time, how many total episodes had aired from 92 to 97? At my live events, I said the team closest without going over gets the 2 points. So if you're playing along at home, just make some sort of educated guess here and see if you can get the closest without going over. Playing against yourself. I don't know. Just guess a number. We'll be right back in just a second with the answers. We are back with the answers to November history. I was born on November 7th. How about you? I'm a Scorpio. I think Scorpios, we stick together. We love fighting Spider-Man. I don't know anything about the Zodiac, but here we go. Number 1. In November of 1883, 4 standard time zones were established for the continental USA under pressure from what industry? That would be the railroad industry. The trains wanted to run on a standardized time in these different time zones. Number 1, railroad industry. Number 2, in November of 1936, the first issue of what photo magazine went on sale, featuring 50 pages of pictures? That would be Life, not National Geographic. A lot of people guessed that at my live nights, but it was actually Life magazine. Number 2. Question number 3. In November of 1963, the BBC aired the first episode of what TV show? The world's longest-running science fiction drama series. That would be Doctor Who. Not to be confused with the spin-off Doctor What that I'm working on in my garage. Number 3. Here's number 4. On November 1st, 1968, the MPAA released those film ratings. R stood for restricted. Number 4, restricted. Number 5, what monstrous film character was introduced to the world? On November 3rd, 1954, it wasn't King Kong. King Kong ain't got S on him. It's Godzilla. Godzilla, with a quote from Denzel there. Number 6, on November 11th, 1987, whose famous painting Irises sold for $54 million at Sotheby's in New York. It is called Irises. It is not the Goo Goo Dolls. I know you were thinking that because they have that hit song Iris. But it is Van Gogh. Vincent van Gogh, that painting's worth at least an ear. Number 7, what fast food burger chain opened its first location in Columbus, Ohio on November 15th, 1959? That would be Dave Thomas and his crew at Wendy's. Number 7, Dave Thomas, Wendy's. Number 8, on November 19th, 1863, Lincoln delivered the famous Gettysburg Address. What was the first word to that speech? Four. And some people wrote 4-score as if it was one word, but I believe it is 2 separate words. 4-score. And 7 years ago. What famous TV network made its debut on November 23rd, 1993? It was not Fox. It was not MTV. It was not VH1. It was not the Cartoon Network. It did have network in the title, though. It was the Food Network, November 23rd, 93. And question number 10. When it debuted in 2012, what was the most watched video ever with 808 million views? That was Gangnam Style by Psy. Remember Psy? I think this thing topped off at about 3.5 billion views, and I think it is now surpassed by Despacito and the Fast and the Furious song with Wiz Khalifa. I forget what it's called. I Miss You, Paul Walker, something like that. And the bonus for 2 points, Beavis and Butthead ended its first run in November of 97. At that time, how many total episodes had aired from 92 to 97? The team closest, without going over, would have got the 2 points here. And the answer was 205 episodes. Holy cow. That does not include the 22 that were added when the show came back in 2011. And that's insane that was already like 9 years ago, 8 years ago, whatever, almost 9 years ago. I thought that show came back like 2 years ago, but it was a long time. 2011. Beavis and Butthead, 205 total episodes in the 90s. There you go. Those are all your answers to today's questions. I hope you learned something fun. I hope you had fun playing along. And let me know how you consume the show. Send me an email, ryanbuds@gmail.com. If you listen to it just by yourself, if you listen to it in your car and you yell out the answers, if you listen to it with a partner and you play against each other like you're playing a trivia night at home, I want to hear all the ways you consume the show so I can learn how to make it bigger and better for you every day. It's time for the question of the day, brought to you by Funky Monkey Designs of San Dimas, California. What airline used the slogan, "We love to fly, and it shows"? Tweet me your answer at ryanbuds or email ryanbuds@gmail.com to be eligible for a prize. Yesterday's question of the day answer was Ghost Rider, which was, it was not Ghost Rider. It was Nicolas Cage, who played Ghost Rider. So there you go, Nicolas Cage. And trivia team name of the day is Angry Larry Birds. Angry Larry Birds. Take that and use it next time you play trivia with me. That would be cool. Go to Funky Monkey Designs, fmdesignsinc.com, have him print something just for you. The owner of that company was just on Conan O'Brien, which was very exciting because he made a cool shirt that Conan liked. And Conan pulled him out of the audience and they did a little interview. So go check that out. Funky Monkey Designs, fmdesignsinc.com. Thank you guys for listening to today's episode. Go leave an iTunes review if you want to do something for free to help out the show. And as always, you could join for a monetary amount over at patreon.com/trivia with buds. Throw a buck and get access to our Discord ongoing pop culture chat room. It's tons of fun, and I post extra trivia in there almost every day. Thanks for listening. Thanks for telling a friend. We'll see you tomorrow for more Trivia with Buds. Cheers.